All right. So this is the fitness tracker app that we have decided to do. My name is Adi Nair, and I'm here with
Michael Giorgi.
uh we are both seniors in the app development class. Uh the project is due today on the 27th of October, and we've decided to name our app Fit App. And the reason for this name is because most fitness apps have simplistic names that reach out to consumers, such as MyFitnessPal. And so we wanted to keep it very simplistic at the end. So if anyone simply looked up the word fitness or even fit on the App Store, they'd find it. And that is the reason behind our name. We will now begin the project. So for our users and our problem statement, well, to start off, the problem that most people face uh, when they're getting into fitness is that many people struggle to track their workouts, their caloric intake, their macros, their protein intake, and just overall fitness progress across different apps, which is, in my opinion, really tedious. And most people find it very tedious as well. And so we decided that the goal for this project would be to create an app where users can essentially control how they view themselves and their own fitness journey. So initially, what they can do is they can record different types of exercises. They can set different durations, how long each set took, how long the entire workout in general took. Uh, you could put down the amount of reps that you've done to coordinate how much progression you've made, perhaps. Um, You can track your caloric intake through daily meals by simply inputting it into our very simplistic UI, which we will show you in a little bit, followed by viewing your own weekly progress, which you can see visually through a chart or textually as well. That's another option. Uh, as soon as you add a workout or a meal, it'll show up in a list right below with the date and all the details that you inputted, of course. And before we get into the last thing, I just like to talk about our inputs since I mentioned them. And so we have a few different inputs and outputs. The first one would be exercise types, which is just different types of exercises. For example, bicep curls, lateral extensions, tricep overhead extensions. It could be anything really. You could put the amount of reps, which I've already talked about. For an example, it could be 10 to 12. You could put the amount of calories you've consumed per meal. For example, if you eat a banana, you could put 105 calories and it has a few grams of protein. You could put the amount of calories you've consumed and the duration of each exercise. For example, if you do one set for 30 seconds, you could just put that in and it'll show on the chart and textually. And then our outputs would be the workout log, which you will see, the calorie tracker, which is also just the meal tracker, the weekly progress chart, which is a bar graph, uh, which I'll talk about furthermore, how I incorporated that into this. We've got our workout plans, which Michael did, which are very impressive, and uh, you'll see that as well soon. And continuing on, we have the pre-made workout plans, depending on where you're at in your journey. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, so for the pre-made workout plans specifically, I try to categorize them for beginner, advanced, and intermediate. So my reasoning for the categorization would be the number of days, the number of days, excuse me, that somebody at each level would be willing to go to the gym. So obviously, somebody who's just getting used to the gym, like a beginner, wouldn't want to be going like 5 days a week. like somebody at an advanced level at an advanced level is, because for somebody at the advanced level, it's already a lifestyle for them, while a beginner is still just testing waters. So I limited that to 3 days. Then the intermediate is 4 days, and the advanced finally is 5 days. And the workouts increase for each level. So an intermediate person would be doing less workout than an advanced person, but more workouts than a beginner. Um,
Nice. Yeah, that's our user statement and our problem statement, and as well as our goal. Moving on, we have our design overview, which just covers the overall structure of our project. So to start off with, we obviously use Flutter and Dart as we've been using that our entire time in this mobile app development class. We also use SQLite as a local database in this scenario, as far as the chart data goes, and the workout and the meal data goes, saving it, logging off the app, coming back onto the app, seeing your data still being there, not getting deleted. And we actually do have a delete option as well, beside each workout and each meal. And you can delete all those as well, and it'll clean it up perfectly and save throughout different instances. So moving on to our design, we obviously have our main screens, what our main screens, which are the progress tracker, uh, the workout log, the calorie tracker, and last but not least, the workout plans, which consists of the beginner, the intermediate, and the advanced pre-made workout plans, which all have different days depending on your expertise, of course. And then we've got a nice pink slash white theme for nice and simple color design because we didn't want to make it too overcomplicated. And then Michael came up with the plan to do the navigation bar at the bottom, which is a very good idea to easily transition between tabs and different preset workouts. And then we've got our architecture here, which is the front end, which is obviously handled by Flutter, SQLite, which we're using, which for our local data storage, and I created a Dart script which is called a database helper, which uses different functions and methods to help us uh, control our data. Uh, and then as far as the data updating and people having their own information on their own app, we uh, all that is dynamic and visualized with a chart, obviously, which I used FL chart, which anyone can use. It's pretty simple and easy. And then these are our wireframes that we started before we begun the project. Uh, our actual project does match up quite similarly to all this. There are some minor changes, but I feel like in any project there will be some changes as far as development goes. Moving on to our code snippets, Michael will start us off with his.
yeah. To Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All
I can
right.
hear you.
All right. To get into the details for my levels code, the level screen. So
Sorry about
this
that.
part, yeah, it's all good. Can you hear me
Yeah, I
still?
can hear you. Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
So this part of my Flutter app is called the level screen. So it's the screen where I display levels for the preset workouts, and it's there's three levels where each user can select and go to the screen. So for each of them, you have different workouts for every day. So for a beginner, they have 3 days, and they have different workouts for them, and it climbs up. So it climbs up. I wanted this screen to be simple, reusable, and visually clean. So instead of repeating code for each button, I created a separate widget called level button. Each level button handles its own display and navigation logic. And, and each button takes two properties, the level name and the number of days in that plan. Then on press, the function uses Flutter navigation to push a new page, the level detail screen, passing those values along. Styling is done using the elevated button style form, which lets me control color, size, and shape easily. And finally, the button text displays both the level and how many days the program lasts.
All right, and for mine, I'll start off with the top right. The first snippet is just the part of the feature where users can add their new workouts. So essentially what's happening is we're inserting the workout data into our local SQLite database using the DB helper script. And each time a user fills out the form, the workout form, their reps, the date, the duration, the exercise, um, we take those values and then we call dbhelper.insert to save them. And then all of it is automatically added, which stores all the stuff when it was logged. And when that's saved, it gets displayed immediately on the log screen and is used later by the progress tracker. And then as for the second one, it essentially controls the progress chart on our home screen. Uh, what I did, well, I talked earlier about it. It was called FL underscore chart. I used that to make the custom bar charts, which was very simple actually. And in this section, the chart shows the total number of workouts for each day of the week, which is Monday through Sunday, obviously. And the code sets up the chart's layout, like, for example, removing unnecessary borders or labeling the days at the bottom and drawing pink bars for each day. You get the idea. And the height of each bar depends on how many workouts were logged in that specific day. So, for example, every time a user adds a new workout, the chart essentially refreshes and updates in real time. So everything is dynamic and everything works very smoothly, and anyone can really use this app. It's pretty easy to use, in my opinion. Um, Essentially, just to sum it up, it connects the user's input to the visual progress, of course, be it the chart, the graph, the bar chart, and every time a workout is logged, you can quite literally see your week's progress go up on that chart in real time. And it makes everything feel more rewarding and kind of visual, in my opinion. Moving on, we've got testing and results, which was the most tedious part of this entire project, if you were to ask me. Uh, Essentially, we conducted most of our testing on Windows by simply running the Flutter run directory Windows command. However, the final project was tested on Android emulator, as I know you like that more. So we could test efficiently and accurately, as this is an app, of course, so it can't just be like a big ass window. Sorry for my profanity there. But the primary testing that we used was verifying data saving. Whenever you book a workout, it actually saves across sessions. Deleting data and cleaning it up after you've deleted it. You could probably see a delete button here. Once you've deleted it, it completely erases from the database and it is lo no longer there. And that needs to be right because it needs to be optimized efficiently so we don't get any memory leaks, as well as retrieving information to fix bugs. That was our main purpose of testing, just to figure out if those things worked or not. And it was really tedious, but eventually we got it to work. And the testing process was as follows for the workout log and the meal log. So we added new workouts and meals and checked if it had appeared as a new entry in the list below. And if it had, then that was good and it worked. And to be honest, it didn't work for a long time. And it was really frustrating to get that to work because the add workout and the add meal buttons were just not working for the longest time, and it was really frustrating. But moving on, we went back to the homepage to see if the entries were applied properly to the chart, as well as the information below textually. And if it did, that was good. And we moved on to the next step, which was verifying everything as a whole worked individually. So, for example, we went into the preset levels, each one, made sure every button worked, made sure all the texts were accurate, and every workout was proper as to what we had discussed. And we slowly, but surely pushed everything all at once after we were certain everything worked. And of course, we went from milestone to milestone. Uh, and as far as our results go, we fixed all the bugs in a timely manner. Some took longer than others. Some weren't even really bugs with our code. It was just more so Flutter and Visual Studio Code acting up. For example, I had like the build folder, like a bunch of assets were, well, a bunch of files were staying open after I'd closed them, so it would just error and not let me run it. And so after all the problems, oh, and the biggest problem was probably the add meal button not working, but eventually I got that fixed and uh all everything started working overall, and the data started saving over different instances, different sessions, and cleaned up properly as well.
It's
Uh,
right at the top.
so as far as our conclusion and our reflections go, we've been able to have our UI made by Milestone 1, which I thought was really clean, and implemented the functionality in Milestone 2, which consisted of adding meals, adding workouts being tracked, being able to see preset workouts. And we've also had a lot of bugs in this development, I'll be honest, but we were able to test our app on an emulator to ensure it worked at the end. Because it was really tedious for me at least, because my laptop is really bad. So every time I would try to open up Android emulator, it would take very long, which was really inefficient when it comes to testing code, because you can make a lot of mistakes and then time could just fly by like a snap of a finger. So I opted with Windows testing instead, which helped us understand how to take real like concepts we learned in class and apply it to an actual project that we can maybe apply to real life and make it a real working app, which is really impressive. And I'd say we're both really proud of the how the tracker turned out, and we're excited to keep improving it in the future.
Yeah,
Because we see a lot of potential in it, as well as the new features like way more advanced workouts. We could even advance video demonstrations, images, and just way more. So some of the things we've learned is all this, and I'll let Michael say that.
yeah. So some of the things we've learned is how to connect Flutter with a local database using SQLite and DB Helper, improved understanding of app navigation, state management, and user inputs. Really learned how to use GitHub version control properly. That has been something that we have practiced and learned throughout this class, and our usage of it is coming to a very tangible point at this point, and it's been reflected in our development process for this project. Then we also learned how to practice testing using Android emulator because we had never used it prior to this class.
Yeah. And we actually need to showcase our project, so I'll be doing that now. So this is our app. It's pretty, pretty basic, pretty clean, in my opinion. This is the progress tracker homepage that you'll be on when you sign in. As you can see, you have a chart here. You obviously won. You'll see what that does in a second. Total workouts 1, calories consumed 300. And then we also have a weekly progress goal, which actually turns green once it's full. So to start off with, we'll see the preset levels. Um, Beginner, as you can see, it all looks very good, very clean. Um, as you can see, beginner only has 3 days. And then moving on to intermediate, we have 4. And as you can see, they're harder exercises as well as you go on the days. So it won't be like a linear progression. Uh it'll be depending on how much you put in, really. And then obviously it says what week you're on, and this week now, so you haven't really started much. And moving on to the inputs, you could put in exercise type, you could put in curls. As you can see, we've already have a test one here, John, which saved throughout instances and sessions. Duration could do 2 minutes, 15 reps. Add the workout, it'll add down here. Go to your progress, boom, added. And then your weekly progress has increased. Meals, you could put um chicken and rice, make it 500 calories, add it. It's there. Calories consumed is now 800. which tells you per weekly, of course, since this is weekly based. And then you can also delete things, and then they save. And of course, you see here they've decreased as you deleted them. It was 800 before, now it's only 300. The chart has updated, and as well as your weekly progress. And I would say this matches our wireframes very accurately as well. So that is our project. Thank you for watching,
Thank you.
and that'd be it. Thank you.